Hello and welcome to Weekly MTG. I'm your host Blake Rasmussen, and today we have a relatively chill show, but still a good one because we are talking about Standard during the RCQ season. We just had some bans a few weeks ago, and the format's gotten to a place where we've started to see some new decks start to rise up and see some success. So we're going to play a few of those newer, more interesting strategies that weren't getting the spotlight before, but seem to be holding their own. Before we do that, a little bit of news. We're going to talk Eternal Weekends. So there are 3 Eternal Weekends coming up. We've got one at the end of October, hosted by Pastimes, one at the end of November, hosted by Haruya, and one at the beginning of December, hosted by Four Seasons. So if you're into Eternal formats, those are coming up and are fantastic shows. Part of the reason we're talking about those today is because we are also talking about Mystery Booster Commander Edition. We are changing up the legality after some internal discussions and some external feedback. So they're still going to be legal in Commander starting on November 13th with MagicCon Atlanta. But we're going to hold off on legality in all other formats, and this is why it affects Eternal Weekend, until the first of the year. The reason we're doing that is that Mystery Booster Commander Edition, unlike other drops, is going out in pieces. It's going to be distributed at MagicCons starting in Atlanta, but going forward. So availability is going to be something of a concern for Eternal Weekends. So we figured we'd just make it legal starting on the first of the year. There we go. All right, now speaking of legality, we're going to talk Standard. We're going to move into Arena, and we're going to look at some different decks. The decks that we are going to focus on today, so Mono Green Landfall's kind of the top dog right now, but there are a number of contenders. So this has kind of been my pet deck for a while, this black-white life gain deck, and there have been a number of iterations of it. So we're going to start by playing that one, but I also want to look at Standard Dwarves, which is an equipment-focused deck that has been popping up here and there. There's the Standard 5-color Humans deck that top 4 in RCQ. I played it. It's a little awkward. We may or may not get to it. This Standard Smog deck is a mono-red Dragons-focused deck, which is actually pretty fun, so we'll probably look at that. And then Standard Oculus. Oculus is making a return. And we may talk airbending. That combo deck, still viable, still strong, one of my favorites as well. But we're going to start out by playing the life gain deck that is gaining some ground in the metagame. And this version is actually my version. Here, I will open it up real quick. So a couple of things I can't see with my face. All right, that's fine. A couple of things that this version is doing that not every other one is. So I'm not playing any of the mass return cards from the graveyard to get all the triggers. It's very satisfying, but I've found that it leaves the deck too vulnerable to graveyard hate when you're already a deck full of small creatures. Bloodthirsty Conqueror, I am playing the combo with Starscape Cleric. I have found that it gives the deck the ability to win in a lot of situations where it would not have won previously. It's tied together by Amalia, which is the best card in the deck, by quite a bit. And then Moseo is a new addition and is incredibly strong, especially when you're putting creatures in the graveyard with Amalia. It makes it so that the correct play most of the time with Amalia is to explore creatures into the graveyard. We're playing Duresses because we're trying to protect a bunch of creatures here. Cloak and Dagger, there's sort of flex spots. They're not amazing in any matchup. They're fine. And I've found that their ability to attack either the hand or the battlefield is good for game 1. I tend to side them out. Sideboard, Intimidation Tactics, we swap when Duress isn't good. Ghost Vacuum for graveyard decks. Exercise for a variety of things. Lunar Convocation is sort of the... Lunar Convocation and Exemplar of Light are 2 of the ways that we can grind against either control decks or decks that have a ton of removal. Yeah, infinite combo, because a lot of times otherwise the deck doesn't have the ability to compete. So we're going to start there, and then we'll move on to other decks. I have been playing this one. I've been playing Black-White Life Gain for probably months. But it's not been particularly good until now. And this configuration is the configuration I found that is best. All right, so against an unknown opponent, I tend to like to lead on duress. You'll notice my hand is a little glass cannon-y if the Sanctifier gets removed. Sanctifier is great. You always want a 1-drop life gain creature or enchantment in play, but the case is the stronger of the two. It's much harder to remove. So if this were the case instead, I'd play the case into Amalia, but here I'm going to lead on duress. And we'll see what they're playing. The mirror, okay. So I think I take a road. It's possible Lunar Convocation was what I should have taken. But I can also have, we're gonna go Sanctifier, Godless Shrine tapped. It is very likely I'm gonna Cloak and Dagger this turn. Okay, they're leading on Lunar Convocation. I didn't want to draw another one of those. Since they don't have anything else, and Amalia is their best card, Halia's pretty good, but so Halia's their only Soul Warden right now, so we're gonna take that. Makes it hard for them to gain life. Now they can play Zoraline. What's cool about, I mean, even though the mirror is a little like groan-inducing, what's cool about this is you can see the different flavors and the different directions you can go. So I've got Lunar Convocation, the sideboard. They've got it main. Okay, this is good. So, cast Talia with Warp. And we're going to Amalia. So now the question is, do I want to attack with Cloak and Dagger? Benefit of attacking with Cloak and Dagger. So Zoraline will gain a life, so you'll play that. Play that. Zoraline is pretty tough to beat. In fact, I think Zoraline is probably a better card in this situation. Yeah, they didn't block. That makes sense. All the Amalias. Okay, drop that. We draw a card from Leah. Go from there. And see, this is also what I like about playing the combo version is, you know, we're going to have life gain traded back and forth here, and I have a way to go over the top. Would actual Soul Warden be playable in 2027 Standard? Absolutely. In fact, actual Soul Warden would be a little bit better in some of these matchups. So, for example, Hinterland Sanctifier basically is Soul Warden with an extra toughness, but Soul Warden counts your opponent's creatures. So we're in this. Don't want to rest. So now the question is, do I want to attack with Cloak and Dagger? I would happily trade it for Coraline. So if I trade it for, problem is if I trade it for Amalia, Zoraline brings it back, and you get that. So I think in this case we don't. Don't think I want to make that trade. Case of the Uneaten Feast, again, is one of the best cards, but it is too late. Do I want to trade that? Nope. All right. I generally don't like the creatures that just get big. Leonardo Cutting Edge is fine because it's also got lifelink, but it also just gets big. It gets blanked by a lot of stuff. It's just not exactly what I'm looking for. So what I want now are one of my bats that drain every time I gain life. Let's see what they're up to. They could sneak Leonardo back. Don't know how much that actually does. I'm fine with them drawing that. They could lose 2 life to draw a card and play that. Sneak. Okay. So now, what I can do, Bloodthirsty Conqueror having Death Touch is great for fighting Zoraline. Now they've done that. Okay. So now the actual question is, do I think what I do? So, cast this with Offspring. So, what's going to happen? I'm going to gain a bunch of life, a bunch of stuff is going to happen. Very little of it truly matters. And then what I need to do is resolve my Bloodthirsty Conqueror next turn. So, I'm going to do something somewhat silly. So I'm casting this with Warp just to get a bunch of triggers. I can put another Holy in there. So I'm gonna... I'm not gonna keep the case. Okay, so... I think... So if I attack with Voice of Victory, I gain 1, 2, 4, and then Cloak and Dagger. So this actually should be lethal. I'm going to need to go infinite next turn. Yeah. Yup. Sometimes you just kill them normally. Yeah, it is a ton of life gain. It's great. Okay. I don't love Duress. I do like Exemplar of Light. I like Intimidation Tactics. I don't think Ghost Vacuum's worth it for... I mean, it shuts off some stuff. I could bring in Exercise. Exercise not only hits Convocation, but it hits Case of the Uneaten Feast. It hits big grow creatures. Question is, well, I don't need Voice of Victory. Voice of Victory is nice to have. It shuts off Erode interacting with a combo and that sort of thing, but it's just such a niche thing. Yeah, Lunar Convocation's fine. I could see bringing it in. It's just when I'm not playing the bats, I have fewer ways to lose life. All right, I've just got the combo here, so we'll... It's not a generally strong hand. I have no case. There's that. That's good. But we're gonna start with Intimidation Tactics, so I can hit Amalia if it's there. Oh boy. Am I gonna die to that before I can do my own stuff? I'm gonna... Seo's really good. If there was only one land, I'd take it. I'm gonna take the cleric. It's the fastest way for me to die. No, they're not done. Ooh. I love this. And the next turn I can go Sanctifier. Yeah, see, stuff like that, I get why people play it. It's just not how I see this deck succeeding. Which is totally fine. So you end up playing things like, ooh, that's cute. Starting Town to give Essence Channel adds fine. Okay, so now we're gonna do this. Now I'm super willing to make this trade. I don't think they will, but yeah. And now I just want to draw like 2 lands and win the game in 2 turns. That would be great. Not 2 lands, but okay, so here, before inflicting any life gain damage, I have to do this. I have to attack. Otherwise, this channel I would have gotten flying. Alright. Amalia would probably be my best draw, so I could find the lands necessary to cast this. Lands would be second. Well, actually, Aaliyah into lands would maybe be next. Get up to 3 life. I can very easily lose this. But again, this is where the combo comes into play. If I can hit the combo, even with all the shenanigans they have going on, I can still win. That's not gonna do it. It's a lot of life gain, but it is not getting me anywhere. They're gonna be outgaining me. Yep. Seo, and oh boy. Yep, and the Seo now gains them a ton of life, depending on what Amalia hits. And this is now getting big enough that it's worrying. I'm gonna get that back. Strategic betrayal's fine, but blocks. Maybe I should have blocked that. I don't know. I am not winning. Oh, I didn't even notice that was a trigger. All right. We got stuck. Didn't quite go anywhere. Lands or Molly or something in there. I don't want any of those. I'm good. We can do dwarves next. Ask and you shall receive. It is telling that we've got 2 players who are both mythic, duking it out with different versions of this black-white deck. I don't know what that means, but it means something. It's gotta. Alright, let's see. that either. So much better. Keep 5. Alright, we'll put that back. Put that back. Go from there. This is just how good Amalia is. Assuming Amalia doesn't die. I don't need exercise right now. We're gonna be able to do some stuff. And even if Amalia does die, there's other stuff to do. But mulling to 5 definitely hurt. Let's see what they got. Mirror breaker. Alright. Cool. Alright, we're gonna go. If I did. No, so it's gonna be better for me to do this. Green. Okay. Great, and then here. Strength tapped. Alright. Drop a card. Alright, not bad for a mull to 5. But we'll see. Could be very good depending on what they hit with Amalia. That's not going to come back this turn. That will. That will. It's a good hit. No blocks. That's not great. Okay, now we are definitely falling behind. Happy to not be drawing these lands. I am not happy to... almost no way I'm getting to block that. Alright, might as well attack. That's maybe helpful. Get rid of Amalia. It might be too late. Yeah, I had a few lands. So, I think, though, what this very cleanly illustrates is how good Maseo is. Ooh. Ew. Ew, no. Okay. The road's like... Or, Amalia's like my only way to win. Ooh. I don't think we're winning this, though. To be fair, we are very far behind. It's interesting that they're playing so many removal spells. I am playing none. Block that, take 10. Block there, take 10. Okay. Do need to draw a creature here to have any realistic shot of anything at all good happening. So I am dead. Super dead right now. Take my Maseo. Too little too late, but I think I can play it to block that. I'm pretty sure it's 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Nope. They're probably playing removal over instead of intimidation tactics. have to block this. Or I gain 7. But they can block it with, like, anything. Except... Ugh. I'm in a situation where I'm probably not gonna... are they gonna change the... I do not know if they're changing the ICR pool at this point with rotation. Do not have that information. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So like a creature puts me to... Ooh, love that. Well, if they don't kill me, I can win next turn. All right, so a creature puts me to 4. Blocking. I mean, if they have a 1-drop creature, I'm dead. Or I guess a 2-drop. Yeah, that'll do it, because they lost life, they gained life. That'll be a creature. All right, they got me. They got me. All right, let's do the Dwarf deck. Since that has been requested. But hey, you got to see black-white. Lots of it. All right, standard Dwarves. This deck can do a lot of cool things. Double striking with moving equipment around. I think the only thing I kind of wish is that there was more exciting equipment. A lot of the power is just in power and toughness. So I could see playing some more interesting equipment, but really this is a very low to the ground aggressive deck. Tops out at 4 mana. And you're just trying to kill your opponent fast. Author of the Reality Fracture story. I do not remember off the top of my head. It is information I have access to, but beat them with pointy sticks. That's what I'm gonna do. That's the plan. Definitely the plan. Once my opponent jumps on. Waiting. I'll view the battlefield. There we go. Yeah, we can keep this. 4 lands is a bit much, but we got a very aggressive start. We've got Mauler, Dane's Company can draw us a card. Gilly will start drawing us cards. Might change the order of how we play things depending on what they are and what we draw, but most likely we'd go Mauler into Company, into Killy plus something hopefully, but we'll see. Dwarves. Jackal-Pup would come a long way. Oh, they mulled to 5. It's not great for them. Me hitting a 5th land is not great for me. But we'll see. What are they playing? Okay. Zach Fair's, I think, one of in this deck. It's interesting. I've activated its ability once. I played this deck a little bit yesterday to test it out. Zach Fair has been okay. I would say it's been fair. Dane Ironfoot has been great. already drew me a card. Ew. Ew. Gross. That was not great. So I think here we play Dane. Maybe could have played Mabel. Mabel's a weird one in this deck. It creates an equipment. It's a body. Okay, so it is the dragon deck. So this is the other deck, or one of the other decks that I have teed up to go. That's pretty cool. It's not here. So I think what we're gonna do is Verge. Fair. Attack. Gets double strike. There. So the reason I'm attacking is next turn I'm expecting to also at least put the Crag Flame on something. That's... Okay, that can't kill anything. I can make Killy indestructible. That's fine. Take 7 though. That is not fine. So what? Another dragon and I'm dead. Gives haste, so we're gonna do this. Do this. Let's see. Each equipped attacking creature. So actually, we want to use this. Mabel's gonna deal the most damage. 5, 10. Wait, no blocks? They didn't block. So I'm gonna make this 10. That's lethal. They needed to block there. They needed to block. All right, double strike. All right, so mono red. Dragons. None of those do anything. I don't think Dawn's Truce is correct. The Road's probably good. Seer is probably okay. Cut Mabel. Cut Skateboard. Cut Zach Fair. Sure. Try that. A dev update stream. I don't currently have one in the near future, but it's definitely something we need to revisit sometime soon. Rough estimate on the next OP announcement. We're eyeing a play stream in November right now. That's not to say there won't be other OP announcements before then, but specifically for streams, we are looking at November. Okay, this is definitely a strong start. So we're gonna go, yeah, no reason for us to take the damage here. Hopefully Mauler doesn't die, and then we can equip it with Leyline next turn, but we'll see. So this is one of the engines of that deck. So the question is, do I want to? I think I do. Now, it's possible that this just gets like shocked or something this next turn, and that was sort of a waste, but to kill them fast. So, interesting. So now they'll probably target it. I'll burst lightning that. No? What's happening? Alright, well, I am going to burst lightning then. There it is. Sort of the dream start for this deck is the lizard that pings and into Magda because the lizard targets, so it commits a crime. Let's go Samurai's Katana. We already have a Dane. I'm glad to hear you've enjoyed the quality of life updates. I know that team works really hard. I don't know why they took 6 damage. Great question. Great question. Don't need that. So, mana's awkward no matter what. So let's get an ink. Let's get lifelink. Dane's also hard for them to kill, just because it has 4 toughness. And this is me. Yeah, it's might have been wrong. It's fine. Might have been wrong to equip it there. But next turn we can attach the Matic here and then just play Katana and be doing just fine. I don't know why they took that hit there. They should have done that on their turn. I don't know. I mean, the deck does play that protection dwarf. So maybe they were trying to play around that. I don't know. Yup. Problem is now they are dead. Dead. Because this snaps on, all equipped creatures get double strike. Can't get shocked. And that's it. Yeah. So that's why you play the Dwarf deck, because you can deal a bunch of damage out of nowhere. All right, 20 minutes left. We are gonna play. We just saw the Dragon deck. I want to make sure we get a variety of options here. So we're going to play Oculus. Other decks I love that are off the beaten path. The airbending deck. This used to be one of the best decks in the format. It didn't really lose anything, and there's a lot of ways you can build it. There's black-white sacrifice going around. I have not figured out how to build the deck yet. Emptiness is a great addition, though. This is where I'm currently at. There's some work to be done, though. And then this 5-color humans list is, like I said, it was a little weird. But I'm gonna, and the standard, the Merfolk deck's not good. Not yet, anyway. All right. So we're gonna try Oculus. When will the UB sets for next year be revealed? I will tell you they are going to be revealed individually rather than all together. But not announcing any specific timing just yet. All right, let's see how this goes. Opponent goes first. This is kind of iffy. I mean, we can... This is pretty iffy. I'm gonna mulligan. That's really iffy. And this is better. So I'm not going to worry about that. I'm kind of all in on... probably should have been technique. Okay, another life gain deck. See, they're great. Makes my job a little bit harder. I don't think this is a good matchup here, but let's find out. We're gonna... This most decrepit old bird has something to say. Okay, so Get Lost and Helping Hand. Perfect. Perfect hits. So I can Helping Hand the Oculus. We'll go from there. Show you why I call it Loki airbending. I can show you that list. The short version is that it plays Loki. So all of the things in the deck that airbend, Ascension, Momo, or sorry, not Momo, drawing a blank. Anyway, all the things in the deck that airbend trigger Loki. And so you can play Loki and you can draw additional cards off of it. Sometimes that deck has a problem hitting substantial cards. So that's why. Plays Loki. Loki's great. I really would have liked to have drawn... Alright, give me Oculus. I'm gonna play the bird. In case next turn I need 2 technique. Would have liked a second one of those here, sure. More birds. All the birds. Yeah, it's just the airbending deck, but trying out Loki as a small bonus draw engine. I'm not convinced it's worthwhile. No, yeah, it's on. That's nothing I can do about that. That is happening one way or another. I'd really like to hit a white source so that I can get lost that and that. Malia is still a ridiculous card. I'm gonna take the 5 here. Yep. Discard something? Alright, get out of here. I am sure. Yeah, the airbending deck is definitely one of my pet decks. I do still think it's good. I think you know, you've got a core that you have to play in. It's like what you play around it. Ooh. We'll just win. Like I said, I don't know that Loki's it. You know, Badger Mole Cub was in and out of that deck. I played it sometimes. I mostly played it because you do want 2-drop accelerators. I'm using the Ally accelerator right now, the 2/3, which I think is actually pretty good. But you definitely want more 2-drop accelerators to get to your 4s and 5s. Loki's sort of awkward in that slot. Back to Badger Mole Cub. Badger Mole Cub was obviously good there. You had fewer explosive turns, but what you did get is you could go through the loop and win immediately by earthbending lands infinitely. So you do lose that. Build a Thief can help discount airbending, but you're not playing many instants or sorceries, so the attack trigger almost never does anything. And having the airbending stuff cost 1 doesn't do quite as much. Right, I'm gonna lose to that. Probably. I mean, I can give this life link. This is an interesting one. Double triggers. Delaney is not one I had thought of. So I'm just gonna die. $29 damage. Definitely cannot do a 29 damage. Gaining 12 doesn't do a ton. I've got blockers. I could let them spend all their mana on that. Kill Delaney. 1, 2, 3. So it would be 6 life gain triggers. Okay. But I can't do both. I cannot practice offense and get lost. So that's not great. 1, 2, 3, 6. And they can't be blocked. Well, actually, no, I can kill Delaney. So I kill Delaney. I think that's my option. All right. Yeah, I have to kill Delaney. Oh, cool. There's all my white lands. Do I need... Oculus can attack. I don't think I'm sneaking anything out. No. Not looking good here. All right. Delaney is not something I'd considered. I kind of like that. Yeah, if I hit a land, I could flip that up. I don't know. I'm just not winning. All right. I see what you're doing. You're just gonna cast that without the offspring cost. Voice of Victory would have stopped that. Deep Cavern Bat. Deep Cavern Bat might be better now. I wasn't playing Deep Cavern Bat simply because there were so many shocks running around, but there's fewer of those now. Oh, Hydroid Crisis. I took it out of a commander deck just last night. I was a little bit sad. Alright, so they attack. I want this practice offense to die. I really don't think I'm winning, but maybe. I don't know. No, I'm just not. You know, alright. 33. All right, we're gonna go into the next game. This one has gotten away from. I mean, this is again the blue-green deck is, or the white-black deck. Blue-green, white-black deck is just, it's so cool. All right, Spell Snare is gonna be great. Don't think I bring in Requisition Rate. Erode. Don't think. Activated abilities. Oh, they're all triggered abilities. Okay, so we're gonna go with that. I don't like No More Lies here. On the play, it's certainly much better, and if I were gonna keep it in, I'd keep it in here. But their spells cost so little mana. Krasis flew, so Wan Shi Tong could also fly, but like differently. I think the blue-white. So I've been Mythic and Standard for a couple weeks now. Since the bans, I've not played against much tablet. And I know people are trying new things and experimenting, and so that's why you get a lot of the black-white life gain, black-white sacrifice, but I just haven't played against it. It's not to say it's not out there, but I think if the only thing holding back Momo Riddler is tablet control, I think you are well justified in playing Momo. You can either dodge control or try to sideboard against it, or, you know, I mean, even if it's a bad matchup, it's not like it's a 30-70 matchup. It's going to be like a 55-45 matchup. Yeah. Momo's got lots of options. This hand is bad. I mean, if I go first, I'd need to draw to a... It's so close, it's just not. And then I get one land. All right, we'll give it a shot. Sure. No. I mean, if I hit running lands, I guess something happens. Something. Let's see. A non-zero portion of not seeing tablet decks is because at this point in the season, a lot of people that are already in Mythic are just playing Cool Brews for the love of games and not playing the decks that win to grind. There's probably a good portion of that, but I will note I've played against a lot of mono green landfall, which is not that. Like, mono green landfall has been the most common deck I've played against. And before the bans, I was playing against tablet constantly. So, I don't know. Gain life, lost life. Get that to go off. Do I erode it now? No, I just want to lose some life, but cool. Mulling to 5. What a way to end the stream. Mulling to 5. What I will do is, okay. This isn't going anywhere. I'm going to concede this. I'm not going to win this. What I will do is just throw up some of the other decks that we've been looking at as that I've been looking at, that a couple other people have been looking at as alternatives this season. Tablet control is totally playable. I have it here. Let's make this standard. I have it here as Jeskai Lessons, but yeah, same deck. It's still putting up results. But let's look at some of these. So this is the Smog deck. And this is one version of it. There's a couple different ways you can go. But Hired Claw into Magda is pretty strong. You do that, you get treasures. Sarkhan makes treasures, which makes Smog even better. One of the cool interactions I discovered while playing this deck, I'm sure other people know about it, but I discovered it. So if you have Magda on the board, no treasures, and you play Smog, Smog still commits a crime when it attacks. Even if you have 0 treasures, it targets, you create a treasure, because you've committed a crime, and then it deals 1 damage. That also works if you're like 1 damage short. If you have 3 treasures and you're trying to deal 4 damage, Magda will up that by 1, which is pretty cool. Otherwise, you just have some dragons, Sarkin. It hits hard. It's got some red cards. And then, yeah, like I said, Black-White Sacrifice. There's something here. This is another one I've been working on for a while. It's been a tough nut to crack. I played against it a little bit. Emptiness is definitely seeing quite a bit of play. It's both a removal spell and a way to get back your Sephiroth and whatnot. You know, some people I've seen playing Lake Town Lookout. There's also the +1/-1. If the creature dies, you draw 2 cards. That's been pretty solid. I could see playing Queen of Dale in the sideboard as well. A lot of things that say Recruit could certainly go in the Sacrifice deck, but Queen of Dale is probably the strongest. I'll show you this 5-color Humans deck. It was wild. Because they're all legends, there are very few. Everything's sort of singles. But Celestial Reunion was really good when I was playing through this deck, which explains so many of the one-of copies. I don't really understand one-of practiced offense, but anyway, it was a fun-ish deck to play. You certainly have the ability to play 5-color creature type with Cavern, Secluded Courtyard, and Starting Town. Not sure if that's the way to do that. Loki Airbend, I mentioned this one, so Jace Reawakened is another sort of experiment. I was finding myself flooding out quite a bit. You need multiple combo pieces. You want to get to Aang. So I was trying Jace Reawakened. The plotting actually matters quite a bit as well. You can plot, for example, Bramble Familiar, and then cast Fetch Quest. So I was toying around with Jace Reawakened as well. It's been fine. I think the mana, to support Jace Reawakened, I probably need to mess with the mana a little bit more. And then I pulled it for, so this is a version that's focusing more on Web Watch and Llanowar Elves, but one card I really like. So I do like playing South Pole Voyagers plus, where is it? I went past it. Great Divide Guides. So you become an ally deck, and you actually can, when you're comboing, you can gain infinite life with South Pole Voyager, just kind of the same way you do with Flanker. But you can also flicker things with South Pole Voyager to draw your deck too. So there's some cool things there. I don't think I have the configuration right. I'm not even sure Interdimensional Web Watch is good. But there it is. Yeah, so there's a lot of options for Standard right now. There's RCQs happening all over the world, so definitely check those out. Check with your local game store to see where those are being held. We are going to be off next week, but we're going to be back the following week with the Reality Fracture debut after show. I'll be here. We'll have some great guests, and we will take a look at Reality Fracture. Until then, have a great week.